We've got one tonight, NBA Game 7. And just to add a little spice to it, if it wasn't already important when it's a Game 7, the winner of this game tonight gets to go to the NBA Finals in a matchup with the Golden State Warriors. It's going to be the Boston Celtics headed to Miami for game number 7. And we've got Leo, one of the big Celtics fans that you'll find out there. He's joining us tonight. Eric, who's been along for the ride throughout all of our NBA shows. So we're getting to the finals now. Who is going to make it there? We're looking at a Miami team tonight that's actually at home, and Miami is actually a home dog in this game. Just a couple points, but it's 2.5 or so different places that you're looking, and the total in this game is 198 in that range for the over-under. So, Leo, we were talking about it before we got on. As a fan, let's talk about it as a fan, and then we'll also talk about it from a gambler. So the fan in you, man, been sweating out all day, right? It's tough in these game 7s. You had to deal with a game 7 kind of on the opposite side in just the series before, and you mentioned your team has been here to the conference finals like 5 times in the last decade and hasn't gotten through to the finals yet.
This is it, man. We talked about it pre-show. You mentioned it. Sometimes you're just happy to get there. Those Isaiah Thomas years, we were happy to get there. Now we're at a point where, you know what? This young nucleus, they're getting better. We got some veterans on the team like Horford that I'm going to talk about later. But this is our chance, man. I mean, I said it. If both teams bring their A game, the Celtics will advance. The Celtics are the better of the two teams. That doesn't mean we're guaranteed to advance by any stretch.
I agree with that. Totally agree with that. I think that's a very fair statement from someone who I give a lot of crap as being a homer. But like we said, we're not going to give you a lot of crap today because today's one of those days where it's like it's nerve-wracking when you're a fan. There's a lot. It's lots of sweats. Probably don't eat a whole lot during the game. Maybe visit the bathroom once or twice for a little spew when the belly starts rumbling a little bit. Eric, you were just there as a fan, and you had to suffer. And not I suffer, but suffer and deal with lots of close games with Miami over the last couple of years. Or Miami with Milwaukee, excuse me.
Yeah, we finally got over the hump here, and it was a great experience. Unfortunately, this year didn't break our way, but we got our one, so that's all that matters. I've experienced it once. That's all I need. So
that's what you feel good about it once you're able to get there. We'll see if either one of these teams can get there. So let's talk about how we're going to play this game tonight and how we're looking at attacking it from a wagering standpoint. I've got a few plays in this game. Eric, let's start with you. How are you looking to play this game?
The first play I have, and I absolutely love this player prop, is PJ Tucker over 5.5 rebounds at plus 110. If you look at it, he's averaging 12 potential rebounds for the series. But more importantly, the last 2 games, Dedmon, he's been eliminated from the rotation. The last 2 games, he's averaging 14.1 potential rebounds per game. He flew over it in game 5, getting 11. Game 6, he didn't go over it because he got into foul trouble. Should have went over it. He had 5 early in the third because of foul trouble. He didn't get it. So I love PJ Tucker over 5.5 rebounds at plus 110. Next player prop I did Jimmy Butler under 27.5 points.
Just on the bounce back. He was he was monster, right?
Well, I mean, it's been 24.5 every single game. Game 6, it bounced down to 22.5 point adjustment because he scored 40 points. That's way too much. I mean, for the series, he's averaging 20.6. I think this is going to be a tight game. I think it's going to come down to the final possession. I don't think any one of of the 1As from either team are going to get 30 points. So I'll take under 27.5 for Jimmy Butler.
You got another one? Well, let's bounce around then, because I got a couple, and Leo, I'm sure Leo's got a few. So Leo, let's go over to you. As a fan, we know what you want. You're rooting for Boston. Are you going to play Boston in any way, or are you going to attack this game in like individual players and props and stuff?
I'm going to do a little bit of both. Listen, I'm a homer, but I've said it all year. I think that the Boston Celtics should win this game.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm going to play the 2.5, but that's not going to be my main play here. Eric, I think you nailed it on the head with Jimmy Butler. Listen, by the way, I love a good conspiracy theory. And one day I saw on TikTok that Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's long-lost son, and there was a whole conspiracy behind it. And I started joking around with B-Ho and BJ while I was down in Florida, and they're like, dude, are you fucking serious right now, man? And then after game 6, I was like, oh, that's an MJ-like performance, by the way.
That's funny.
Just in case you were wondering. No, I think he's going to come back to earth a little bit. It feels like this should be Tatum's game. So one of the props that I'm looking at, you can find it on Bet Online. It's most points between the listed players only. The players on here are Tatum, Brown, Smart, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo. I'm taking Jason Tatum to basically be the leading scorer in this game. You can find it at plus 130 right now. I think it's a solid bet. I think he's going to attack the rim. He'll get to the free throw line. He'll knock down some threes. He's going to get his tonight. Like, I expect 30 out of him. I don't know how much more. I don't think he'll go much less, but I think 30 is the number, and I don't think Jimmy Butler can get there. So you're getting that at plus money. I like that play.
That's one where we'll go a little head up on, because I was going under 28.5 for Tatum. I think it's just high because I'm going to go low with everybody in this game. These are two teams that are banged up. I think each of these teams has like 3 or 4 guys that are super banged up. I think it's going to be really slow and even uglier than some of the series has been. So 2 of my plays will be unders. Tatum under 28.5. I think he hits 25, right? Like, I actually like your play better of Tatum the most of the group. Because I still think he will probably be one of the top scorers here. I just think everybody's numbers are going to be a little lower. That's why I'm going under the 198 also. I usually do this in game 7s. I usually go under just because of how much anxiety there is throughout this game. Everybody gets a little bit tight. You always see a couple different players start airballing shots and just kind of wearing it on their sleeves. So I'm going under. I'm going Tatum under with the points. I do have a couple more plays, though, and we can get back to them. Anyone out there who's, if you're watching and you want to check in or you want to comment and tell us a play that you have and share it with us, we'd love to hear from you. Or if you have a question that you want to ask either Leo, Eric, or myself, feel free to ask the question. A lot of times we don't get to record live. So when we have recordings, we can't really interact with you. But when we are doing live streams, we'd love to interact with some of you out there if you're watching and you want to check in with us. So let's bounce back over to Eric. Eric, you said you have a couple more plays?
Yeah. I took the Heat plus 3 and the Heat to straight up win. Per my new favorite website, SDQL. Home teams in game 7 that won in game 6 are 13-2 against the spread in game 7. So this has happened 15 times since 2002, and the home team, so that'd be the Heat, they've covered this number 13 out of 2 times. And there's just little things. Like the one thing the Heat started doing is they're not switching Strus. They switch Strus on a Smart, but when it's Tatum and Brown, they're not switching Strus as much.
Yep.
Because their offense is just so much better per 100 possessions with him on the court.
Yep.
We saw in game 6 his big shot ability, being able to hit some pretty crucial threes.
From deep too. And that's the thing is that what I like about him, he had a couple bad games, but he does not seem like he's scared to shoot even when he's struggling. He'll still fire away. He knows he's on the court for that reason. And what ends up happening is shooters sometimes will get a little tight when they start missing, and it's like, you're not playing defense, so you better be shooting out there and just, high volume shooting.
And another thing, Hero's back. Hero is going tonight.
Yep.
And then one more thing, and this thing like really stood out for me, and I don't know why. The Heat went through their normal shoot around this morning. They had like their normal walkthrough, their normal practice. The Celtics skipped the shoot around this morning. And for me, especially after how they lost game 6, that doesn't make sense to me why you're not having a shoot around the morning of game 7, at least going around something. That's kind of stood out for me. This Heat team is very structured in everything they do. They stick with their program. A small home dog at home. This is what I do. This is what I love. I have the Heat plus 3. I also took them at plus 132 to straight up win.
The Leo, one Celtics play that I do like for tonight is I think it's going to be a very big bounce back game for Horford. He's sort of gone back and forth throughout the series. So I'm looking at Horford as far as the player points are concerned. His total of points was 9.5, and that was minus 120. I think you can boost him a little bit. And if you boost him just a tad, it's a really good number. Al Horford to score 15 points is plus 460. He's hit that number twice in the series. He hit that number in games 3 and 5. He scored 16 points and 20 points in those 2 games. And he shot 1 of 8 overall and 1 of 6 from 3 in game 6. So I think he's going to bounce back a little bit. We've already seen him hit that number that would be 4.5 to 1 plus. So Horford is one of the Celtics that I think will have a big game, Leo, because he's been in these situations, right? He's a vet. Game 7 isn't going to scare him of anyone. So I think it's a Horford game tonight. Go ahead, Eric.
My one question is, now this would just be me. I mean, he's played, I think, now in 191, 192 playoffs with never being to the NBA Finals.
I know.
So which is the record.
Yep.
So is he going to come out a little bit tight? That would be like my only worry about.
Or the opposite, right? With a veteran like that.
I mean, it could go either way.
You're 100% right. He could absolutely be tight, and like he could be, the moment could be very big, even more for a guy like him, because for him, he's going, this may be my last shot.
You know who he kind of feels like right now? He kind of feels like how Rasheed Wallace felt in 2000.
Yeah, that's a good point.
2009 Game 7 when we lost to you guys. Also, thanks a lot for teeing me up because I was all over Horford tonight too. I think Horford, he's going to come out. This is it for him. And you know what? Horford's one of those guys. Eric, I get what you're saying. Like, maybe more nervous. But the 192 games, like, he's been here before. Like, he understands. He's been the consummate professional. Even when he wasn't playing earlier this season, he was constantly ready to go. And shout out to Dan Kuki over here, because I'm all over Strus as well. I think Strus is going to have a big game. He finally got the ball to go through the hoop. I think that the Celtics are going to converge on Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry and say that these two guys are not going to beat us tonight. If the Heat are going to beat us, it's going to take someone else, and it's going to take someone like Strus to knock down some shots. So, Gino, I actually had the exact number that you had on Horford,
nice.
15. I'm juiced it up there.
I love that.
I'm also going to take Horford to make at least 3 3-point field goals tonight at plus 275. And then for Strus, I actually juiced Strus all the way up to 17 points. He's going to score at least 17 points. You can find it at plus 220 on Bet Online. So I'm on those as well.
Juice,
Strus. You think the Strus is going to get tonight, Leo?
On the juice. He juiced it.
Strus is going to get loose on the juice?
Yeah, the Strus juice is getting loose tonight. And Dan, hope you're doing well over there. Dan, I would actually lean over of Strus if I had to.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't go I didn't have that as one of my plays, but I wouldn't go under on that number for Strus. Yeah. How do you look at it, Eric?
I mean, the difference between him and Hero is Strus is thick. He's a big boy, so they need him in there to get the rebounds, especially with a physical game. And they need someone
attack him defensively, and like the way that they can attack like Robinson or Hero or someone like that.
Yeah, and Strus is showing no fear. I mean, he made some legit big boy shots in that game 6. So I like the Strus getting loose tonight as well. I did want to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about Derek White? I mean, he's coming off 22 points. He played a lot of minutes in that fourth quarter.
Nope.
I kind of want to go under, but I was hoping it would be a little bit higher. What is it now, like 10.5? That's what it was this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I would look to go under, but that's not high. That's not high enough.
I was hoping to get 12. Yeah. So I mean, I think the Heat are gonna. I'm sorry, Leo. I think the Heat are gonna get it done tonight. I just hope it's a competitive game because we haven't won one of those for a while.
I don't really have any play on the straight up side. I have the Tatum under 28.5. I do think he'll play well, but that number just seems too high for me for a game 7 where the total in this game is only 198, which I'm going under also. I mentioned Horford. Leo and I are both on the Horford, and you can bump that number to score 15 and get it around 4.5 to 1 at like plus 460. I think it went down a little bit because Leo and I pounded it, and so now it's down to plus 440. I saw just a few minutes ago. And then
do they have Horford to get a double-double?
Yeah, plus 250.
Plus 250, and I'm sorry, what was he for 15?
15 is plus 440-ish, 460.
Yeah, I play the 15. I play the 15.
And he's done that twice in the series already. He's hit 16 and 20. I have one final play.
Yeah, I like that.
The guy on the Heat side, who I think we haven't mentioned at all, but I think if the Heat win this game, it's because Bam has a good game. They have not been able to. It's not as if you look at Bam's like shots and go, oh, he's having poor games. He's just not taking shots. In the 6 games He has taken 6 shots or less 4 of those times. They got to get him a little bit more involved. They got to get him in, some pick and roll situations. They got to get his little jumper is gotten better over the last couple of years. He has that little right in front of the free throw line. And if they can just get him in there, the problem is honestly, he looks a lot of the time like he doesn't want to shoot. Like he will get the ball in areas where he can operate and he may have an advantage. So Robert Williams is playing. It looks like everybody's playing tonight. Robert Williams, Smart, Hero. They're all going to give it a go.
Everyone's a go.
All hands on deck. Game 7.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, Bam needs to do something. I'm still a little salty because I over 2.5 assists in Game 6. He had 2 in the first quarter and didn't do anything else. He just looks. How can I say this? In the fourth quarter and second half, he was just roaming the baseline. It was just one side with Butler or whoever. Yeah, just going to work. But I agree with you. They need to, if he have any chance tonight, they have to get him going with some pick and rolls early and make him feel engaged in the offensive end.
So I'm going over the 14.5 points for Bam. That's a number that he's hit a couple times. The other games, he's not been close to that. That's something that make it a little bit easier on Butler. Let him try to be the closer and let Bam sort of be the guy early in the game, right? Because Bam's not someone like Eric, you're just mentioning. Bam, you're not going to be going to him late in the game. That's always going to be Butler time and maybe Lowry time or Hero or, some of the perimeter type guys.
Strus. That's Strus time.
That's when the Strus juice gets really loose there in crunch time.
Yeah.
Okay, Leo, any final plays or final thoughts here?
One final play. This is going to be just something that you sprinkle. Don't go crazy, folks. Marcus Smart is one of those guys that every time he has a really bad game, he comes back and he wants to establish himself early and be like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still back. I'm going to take Marcus Smart to be the first scorer tonight. You can get him at plus 100. Again, it's a sprinkle thing. Part of it's because I absolutely love Marcus and I trust Marcus with my life. And he tends to show up in the bigger games. So I'm going with Marcus to score the first points here. And, one final plead here to the Celtics. Guys, listen, I love you. Okay? I'm with you guys no matter what. Y'all have put me through the freaking ringer. Boston sports is the best fan base, best sports town around. We're always in it. But these teams have a habit of breaking our hearts. This is the 5th time in the last 10 years we've been here. And we have not gone to the NBA Finals. There's only so much I can take. I have pissed off so many people along this journey. If you lose tonight, it's going to be really sad. All right? Please come through for me tonight. Jason Tatum specifically, my baby, I love you. Please come through tonight. Please.
This is great. This is great. You get not only tons of great gambling insight and information, but you get a plea from a Boston Celtic fan. He's laying it all down. He is on his knees asking Boston, please, please.
Not again.
Bring one home for Leo and for the Celtics. Make their way to the NBA Finals. Whenever those NBA Finals begin, which are on Thursday, and anytime there are NBA Finals games, we will be here talking about those games with you. We'll preview the NBA Finals games, and we'll get you all set up. So I believe it's Thursday that Game 1 starts. Yeah. So Golden State has a lot of time where they've been able to get real healthy, and so they're going to be very happy. And whoever wins this game in this series will also have still a few days to get themselves together and to get healthy to rock and roll. So NBA Finals coming up. Leo, my friend, even if we're on the wrong side on some of the bets, I hope things go well for you. And I hope either way, it's not excruciating, right? It's just either get you put out of your misery early or it's a blowout and you have a fun time celebrating it. So I hope it's not one of those things where you just lose right at the buzzer. That's brutal. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Eric, good luck to you and all of your wagers tonight. We encourage everyone to head to oldsmokeclothing.com/BTV. Check out that t-shirt, the I Don't Bet, I Win. You've seen a lot of us wearing it here. It's a super comfy shirt. And if you use the promo code Gino, you can get free shipping on your order. There it is right there. Beautiful. Leo's hoping to be winning tonight as a fan, winning tonight as a gambler. Whoever you played, however you played them, best of luck. Remember to flip those notifications on for BTV Bets, as anytime we go live with streams like this, you will be notified. Do we have the backdoor cover later on tonight, Leo?
I believe so.
I think so, right? I think I'm not positive because of the holiday weekend, but I think we normally have the backdoor cover coming up later tonight, 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. So if you want to have some fun and get a little X-rated, that'll be on the backdoor cover later on. Good luck tonight to everyone. Let's hope we have a fun, competitive game